I would say that it's in no way different than what I've said. President Vučić is 100% right. There is a huge Euroscepticism in Serbia. And it really is due to the fact that, as Prime Minister Plenković said, we've been waiting for more than 20 years. All of us have been doing different kind of things. My friend, Prime Minister of North Macedonia, changing their names and still finding it difficult to even get a date to start negotiations. When you look at Serbia, you know that from the point when you start negotiations, which in our case was 2014, 10 years have passed. You're still in negotiations. So to get a date to start negotiating actually means nothing. It means a lot to people in the Western Balkans. It means a lot to people in North Macedonia. It means a lot to people in Albania. Doesn't mean anything for the people in the EU member states. But give them a date. And so people in Serbia see that, and they do feel that, as I said yesterday in the conversation during the dinner, that EU has this this view towards the Western Balkans that whatever you do, it's not good enough. If you're a girl and you come and they say, well, your skirt is a bit too long, go and change. Then you come and they say, your skirt is a bit too short, go and change. And you come, you say, well, this sleeve is not looking good. And it's this kind of never-ending process with actually a lot of moving goalposts as well. So you don't really know what to do, and people get tired. I do think that not just Serbia, neither one of us has a better option or a plan B. We are European countries. We are in the middle of the European Union. So I've heard Eddie once said, also a fantastic sentence, it's not about enlargement. You are not enlarging, you are encompassing it. Because we are from all of the sides surrounded by the European Union. We are geographically part of Europe. We are economically, culturally, historically, in every way part of Europe. Most of our foreign direct investments are from EU. Most of the jobs created are by EU companies. Our exports are mostly into the EU or, secondly, within the region of the Western Balkans. We are part of the European family of nations, and I think it would be good for, obviously, us, but I think it would be essentially good for European Union to also do that final step and make that brave political decision to just encompass the Western Balkans into the European family of nations. Well, firstly, I have to say that for me, it's one country. There are no two countries. There are not both countries. Kosovo, as the so-called Republic of Kosovo, is not internationally recognized country. It's not a member of the UN. And yes, obviously, I doubt that it will become part of the EU, at least until there is a 5 non-recognizers. I would say that the normalization, which is in the interest of both Belgrade and Pristina, which is in the interest of both Serbs and Albanians, which is in the interest of the entire region, is something that is very high up on the list of our priorities. The normalization starts with the Brussels Agreement, signed in April 2013, so more than 10 years ago, as the first agreement on normalization between Belgrade and Pristina, co-signed by the European Union and the EU High Representative. The only one and only thing that Pristina needed to do in accordance with the Brussels Agreement as the first agreement on normalization is the establishment of the Community of Serb Municipalities. Almost 11 years later, there is everything but the establishment of Community of Serb Municipalities. And Mr. Kurti says that the Brussels Agreement does not exist for him. let me remind you once again, that is the first agreement on normalization, that it needs to be implemented. And the European Union is the guarantor for the full implementation of that agreement. So what we are waiting for is the community of Serb municipalities. Everything else, we live for peace and stability. It is in our vested interest to keep and preserve peace and stability in the region.